Hey everyone, today we are going to review the newest Arcane Dorabella, and here are some of my thoughts about her. So I'm not really excited about Arcane Dorabella the way that I was for the Norwegian Ayushta, because she is basically a hero that we already have, a bunch of heroes mixed into one. So it was kind of expected from her to perform on the decent or at least above average level, and that's what she does. So the way her skills work is basically she has a lot of instances of damages and a lot of follow-ups because she increases the crit rate for all allies, and basically she's like a mini version of Pandora, but she doesn't scale anywhere near the Pandora level. For example, I tried her in PvE and she does nowhere close to what Pandora does in terms of numbers. And despite being a really great hero, I feel like she's more leaning towards the PvP than the PvE, and the only PvE where she actually excels is in the Rift Odyssey, because Rift Odyssey is most of the times locked behind actions, and she does have a lot of actions or other instances of damages. So the way that her ultimates work is basically, it seems to be, from my experience, a random attack to X number of enemies, and it does decent chunk of damage, but I'm not really sure how it entirely works, because it says launches 5 attacks against a random enemy, dealing a very low amount of damage each time, but then I see her launching an attack on 2 random enemies, dealing insane amount of damage, so I'm not really sure how it works, but she does a decent chunk of damage. And she's like a better version of Eudora in a way, because she has far better synergies, especially if you get her to 9 stars, bringing the 2 ethereals, and the Monarch basically carries her. The speed is quite low, but it's okay because of her Oath Force, which is completely busted. So each ally critical hit reduces the target speed by 5. This cannot be cleansed by either Celestials or Aphrodite's Purify or anything. It's basically uncleansable effect, and it stacks. So it can also be reflected back at you by Leviathan and Arthur, so it has a double-edged sword, but Mystifiers do have a relic that purify these debuffs. I haven't tested Scissors or Vanquisher, whatever its name is, but it should be able to cleanse this. But yeah, so basically she's a really good hero, but she's no Norwegian Ayushta in my opinion. She's a hero that you want to get if you're a new player. So basically, if you have been following the 4th Authorical guide, basically saving up 100 summons to get Cleopatra from the 100 selector ticket, you will be summoning on Arcane Dorabella instead of Eudora. And the reason why is because Arcane Dorabella, in my opinion, is a cheaper unit and a better unit, not by a lot, but she has few certain things that make her better than Eudora, such as Monarch, such as +2 synergy, her Oath Force, and her follow-up damages, as well as the crit boost. So she does better damage than Eudora does, and I think she will be better long term, because Eudora does need legendary runes to shine. However, the Arcane Dorabella does not. Therefore, you can skip Eudora and you can get the Arcane Dorabella and then basically just live temporarily without Eudora unless she becomes a mandatory hero, which she probably will, because Eudora is Omniheroes' best seller in the game, has been since the game release, and they have been gatekeeping her for an infinite amount of time. And yeah, so basically the conclusion is Arcane Dorabella at 6 stars doesn't provide a lot. At 7 stars it's decent, but her true power starts shining at 8 stars, and while you're at 8 stars you basically want to get her to 9 stars for the +2 ethereal synergy. The ethereal synergy at 6 and 7 in seasonal content isn't big, it's not felt, but in the non-seasonal it can help you if you're new or in the mid game or in the early game. In the late game it's iffy, it's not as good as other 7 synergies like Mystifiers or Dooms, but it can definitely help you if you're in the early and in the mid game. As for her Oath Force, it's absolutely broken. Eudora can't do this, so the winner is obviously Arcane Dorabella or Behemoth, and if enemies have no Holy Shields, that ult will basically guarantee a crit, and then Arcane Dorabella will instantly follow that because of her passive. up to 2 times per round, which triggers pretty much instantly, so she instantly triggers her passive and does the 2 ultimates. And yeah, that's about it. It's really a short review. As I said, it's a mixed up hero with a lot of other heroes in one. She's really solid, really good. She's nowhere near as fun as Sarija and Ayushta in my opinion, because she doesn't bring anything new to the game. Her runes actually do bring something new, which is the Arthur or Isis or Odin or Lilith runes passive, which is to all allies now instead of just themselves, or rather herself. Unlike Isis, she does this but to herself, but Arcane Dorabella is to all allies, and basically I think the epic or 2-tool runes are enough for her. She will provide insane amount of sustain to the team. In seasonal this will not be as felt as in non-seasonal, but a hero like Isis does feel this, a hero like Arthur does not. I'm not sure why this happens, but just some heroes are better with this effect than the rest. Like Arthur is pretty weak, Odin is amazing, Lilith is amazing, and Isis is amazing. Arcane Dorabella might be amazing or it might be a bust, so as I said, epic is enough, 2-2 is ideal. You would want to run DPS runes, in my opinion, on her. I put the dodge because I'm struggling to survive with her exclusive runes, but yeah, that's about it really. Whether you should summon or not, so as I mentioned, if you're a beginner who doesn't have Eudora, summon on Arcane Dorabella and get your Cleopatra from the 4th oath recall. Do not summon before, do not summon now, summon on the 4th oath recall to get to 100 rebate mark and get your Cleopatra and get your 2 or 1 copies of Arcane Dorabella. You can get up to 8 stars if you have been saving the pity and if you have been pretty patient and got the shards for free. So that would be really the ideal spot that you get her to 8 stars, but yeah, apart from that, Eudora is a skip for now in my opinion. And yeah, that's about it. Also, skipping Eudora allows you to save the legendary runes and give them to someone else like Dahlia or Jormungandr. There's also apparently a bug when you get her to 11 stars, this becomes 50%, or this one becomes 50% again. I'm not sure if this is visual or if this is true, but just to be sure, feel free to test it if you have her at 11 stars. If not, just keep her at 10 stars, I guess, for the sake of safety. And yeah, that's about it really. So as I said, a bunch of heroes mixed in one singular hero. She doesn't scale anywhere near as Pandora. She's slightly better than Eudora. Her synergies are far better. 7 ethereals in Arena and Yig are decent, especially in the early game, but in the seasonal they are nothing special. And yeah, that's about it. See you in the next one.